Yeah, take the mute button off, hey fan, like you done this before. We here, world. Y'all know what it is. We got the health is wealth talk. Got a whole lot scheduled. I'm not trying to take up too much. Y'all know what it is. So we here having a discussion, folks, about the importance of health. Health is wealth, and you got to make a choice about it, you know? There's so many examples out there. You can see the title. A fan says, I don't want to see no one go extinct. And that's a reference to what we've seen in the culture recently with T Rex. Prayers up to T Rex. It's good to hear that he's recovering, and you know what I mean? He's gonna get it together. He's gonna get it together. So that's the silver lining inside of that. We're always looking for the silver lining. I'm over here developing gold mining, but I'm always looking at the silver line at the same time. Y'all know what it is. So what do you got to do, right? What do you got to do for health, right? Well, let me tell you. First off, give me a couple seconds. You know what I mean? I know there's a whole lot of people about to be stopping through soon. So we just got to give them a few minutes and understand that it takes time. It takes a whole lot of time. To get your mind right, get your body right, and get your soul right. I know what it is, stage by stage. It ain't easy. No one's gonna do it for you. No one's gonna tell you to get up. You need to eat your veggies. A fan will. Because A fan knows there's other channels out there. They shown A fan what foods to eat. They shown A fan what exercises to do, you know. And now I'm just passing that part along. I'm not trying to say too much. That's the whole goal with A fan. One of one on YouTube.com. We here developing real communities. This is part of the vibe. Made the video over here a little bit more present to me talking because I'm gonna save this in the video stuff. So we about 4 minutes into the live. We're waiting for everybody to come on in. Trickle on in, folks. If you're from Kick, salute out to Kick. This is a fan channel. We show how to do workouts. We do cookings. We do a little bit of creative things, watching medias or doing some music. But overall, we keep in perspective. You got one body who's paid at a high price, so you should take care of it. It's on you to take care of it. You see down in the corner, let me take the banner off real quick. Oh, it doesn't have it on here. My fault. Proverbs 21:11, that's right. When a mocker is punished with simple gain, and when a wise man is instructed, he acquires knowledge. So what does that even really kind of entail, right? Well, bring it in full circle for a moment. We can watch an individual go through a health scare. What do? We gain knowledge, folks. We learn from the situation, and we do our best as individuals to avoid those circumstances because our health is not a joke. It's a blessing to wake up every day. It's a blessing to get that glass of water. So appreciate it a little bit more, It can go a long way. They got a whole lot left. delve into so here it is, right? The verse highlights two contrasting ways I thought I lost audio for a moment. Get down real quick. All right. Let's take it down. So from this, the verse highlights two contrasting ways people learn. The simple learn from consequences of others' foolishness, while the wise learn through ongoing instruction and learning. Okay? I ain't too wise myself. I got to learn the hard way. But as long as we try to learn something, you know what I mean? So that's all you can do. But and we got to be aware of this. What are you aware of? YTV, salute. I hit the like button. Relax. I'm not taking your content. I'm showing people it's prevalent to health. Okay? This is how the wise learn, folks. This is how the wise learn. Okay? We can see something happen in front of us, and you got to learn how to not be in those circumstances. Right? And what's the circumstance? Comments are in the section. There we go. What's goody? We here. F Rexia. All right. See, we got a whole bunch of different perspectives. I appreciate the comments though, for real. I'm not too keen right now about that part, but we've seen, a medical issue happen in front of people. Yeah. Just fell right over. So, what can you do? He's just shaking around right now like a milkshake. So, in those situations, these are contrasting ways people learn. You see somebody up there shaking away in the seizure, individually that's something you don't want to have happen to you, right? And if so outside of that, I'm not too sure, but that's the main area where we're trying to push this conversation at, right? We can see things unfold in front of us with people that are close to our same age, and we see that it's important to take care of your health. Okay, all right, there you go. Thank you for saying that part. I was like, did he do something at the event I didn't hear about? But appreciate it. Yo, too, Content Cartel in the building. Yeah, we're just having a conversation real quick too about the health. So real quick, so that fan1 of 1 at youtube.com is following, protocol or transcripts or whatever. Let's go back and you can see how this video is progressing, youtube.com. I initially started this with speaking about the health, showing an example. I started it out with Proverbs 21:11, right? So today we are having a conversation about the importance of maintaining personal health. Avoid alcohol. Avoid fried food. Avoid foods with excessive sugar. At that point, you can develop the beginning stages, what I would say the 80-20 method. If you find yourself drinking alcohol excessively, cut it down in the week. You don't have to just stop right away. Most people that stop cold turkey, I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, bro science kind of thing. Most people that are going to go cold turkey, especially with alcohol, it don't it don't end well. They usually relapse. So when you're taking your health into consideration, that is one thing to consider. Alcohol diminishes the body at a minimum. So we're not going to go all into the super science of alcohol and how it's technically a poison. You know what I mean? Just leave that. The fried foods. How do you avoid them? Don't eat them as often, right? If you do enjoy fried foods, I like fried foods here and there. Eat them on a Friday. Pick one day out of the week where that's quote unquote your cheat day. And that's the beginning stages of the 80-20. You're eating 80% of what you need to eat, the right things to eat. And then you still have that 20% left over where you might like some Cheetos. I got some Cheetos up there. You might like eating jelly beans. You might like mozzarella stick. Mozzarella. Right? You might like that. So, and that's all like comfort food kind of stuff, Limit that amount. Start to enjoy, I would say more just kind of like freshness out of food. You can bake chicken. You don't have to fry it, right? You can stir fry chicken. There's different methods of cooking that aren't always involved with fried, right? And these are learning things that we learn. We can learn from other people. We can learn from, nutritionist channels that you're comfortable with. But these are the basic building foundations of getting that right level of health started out. After that, yeah, I completely encourage, once you start getting exercising, implementing health routines and diets, your foods that you're going to like, probably not going to like. The foods I like, you probably wouldn't like. So it is kind of pointless for me to be like, you need to eat this and that and this and that. I'm not your diet. I don't know what you're allergic to, etc. Right? The point is that we have areas where when we are trying to do better, you have these few channels that would encourage that. Oh, I walked 20,000 steps this week. Shout out to Sean. Guys, that guy is constantly putting in work. But how's the food? How's the diet? How's the sleep? How's your mental health? All of that is a factor inside it. I'm not saying he's not doing anything wrong, but I'm saying it does start with the walking, but then you got to keep progressing. You know what I mean? Battle Rap Bodega in the building. Right, Peter? Kick in the build, yo, mate. I see that your channel needs an audience to watch your stream, so you can start earning $30 per hour with Kick. Yeah. Can I boost your channel to get 3,000 audience? Bring active viewers and many interactions. So contact me on Discord. Word. If I had a Discord, maybe. You know what I mean? Now there is truth to that, though. Yeah, that's a bot. Yeah, you can. And it's in the New Testament, because I don't want to get too specific, but there was a differentiation of how people ate back in the day. Old Testament, there was basically a lot of instruction. I don't want to get into detail why, but it was there for a reason. Then when Jesus came, he said, pretty much eat anything, right? But it's not practical to just eat Twinkies all day and morning as a source of food. Every food does have its benefits. So hold on, I'm trying to get off on a tangent. That is a good point, though. If you even that 80-20 method, it gives you that range of eating what you want to eat. It does. It starts to develop moderation. So outside of the fried foods, try to avoid try to avoid foods with excessive sugars. That's my problem there. You know what I mean? I like a lot of sugars. You know what I mean? They get sweet tooth, I guess. That's the only thing sweet about me. But sodas was my thing for a while. I'd either have like a liter of soda in there or Cokes on standby at the house. But we got water now, hydration packs, and those hydration packs ain't cheap. For weight food for food, not necessarily. No, the health isn't necessarily just it happens, but it's an entire real package of working out and being healthy, and it's the incorporation of exercise, food, sleep, and a mental health break, whatever that is. Whether that's that day you're not online, or the day you don't do things, or you're avoiding external stresses. Those external stresses add up to your mental health. Now they feel like they're nothing at the beginning, like, I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. That don't bother me. That don't bother me. That don't bother. Well, after about a month though, that's going to be added up to a point where something's going to bother you, you know, and those other areas that you're trying to grow to be healthy in, that's will help maintain that level of mental health. So, for example, internet is fun. My mental health break. I call my cousin. He's someone I can rely on. He's someone that if I need help with something, which is rare because I'm a grown man, I really don't rely on people to help me with nothing. He would be there. You know what I mean? That's a mental health break. You don't feel so isolated. Um, the internet can really it can help you feel like you're around a community, but at the same time, we all know we're still, at our houses or wherever we're at, so we're still isolated to an extent. So that constant isolation is the void that you're feeling for attention, kind of thing, you know, and areas that I like to get some de-stress from is our Bible study days. You know, it does not make you a hypocrite because you read the Bible and you listen to hip hop. That's all the conversation because nobody worships music and worship God. But nobody promised tomorrow eating healthy stage. Still going to now. That's yes, that's true. That is part of another wise book in Old Testament with the Ecclesiastes, right? It's like chasing the wind. That's the quote inside of the book. There's a couple of them, but that's the main. Well, that's one of them. Is it's futile to obsess over healthy foods. It because we're all going to die at the end. It's like chasing the wind. Is essentially what that covers. It also covers vanities, the vanities of the world, which is kind of like what you're kind of speaking about, right? To help contradict or be a little contrarian towards a whole life that is just a conversation about exercising eating healthy, getting good sleep, and maintaining mental health. I mean, we could develop whatever we want. I mean, but to kind of be able to still be a contrarian out of this particular subject line is plausible. I could apply. I would never have expected that. You know, it's a salute to you, Philly. Yeah, I mean, but it isn't. It isn't futile. No matter. No, it matters. That's where it's already messed up. It's cool to have your opinion and everything, but it's not that cool to play it off as if, uh, well, we're all going to die anyways. Well, of course, we're all going to die. You can die at 350 pounds with a cardiac arrest, too. Outside of the death, no one knows how you're going to die. Why would you go being so overweight and need an oxygen mask? Or you rely on the hospital system for them to give you all your treatment, your prescription for your body. It's your body, your choice, guys. Take care of it. You know what I mean? And that is important for us to pass that and to speak about it. You know what I mean? But realistically, health is the conversation that is mostly rooted on the foundation of discipline and accountability. No one is going to make me get up in the morning at 5 in the morning, get my workout gear on, and tell me to go down there and do a workout. No one is going to do that. I have to be accountable for myself. If I'm not going to go do a gym at 5 in the morning, no one's going to tell me that day to go do the hike. You have to be accountable. You have to be disciplined. And these are major areas that people don't like. That's a part of health. Of course, we all want to do some push-ups, take our shirt off, and we look amazing. And don't get me on none of y'all. You know what I mean? Don't get me on that like, well, people only work out because their dick is small. Get out of here. If y'all, if dudes we could have the choice and we're like running around like UFC dudes, of course we're gonna be running around like UFC dudes. Like, come on, are we serious? We all want to look like Norbs. We want to turn in Norbs. We want young men leaders to talk about, don't worry about your health, eating well. Let's all just get fucking like Norbs. Does that look healthy at all? And I'm not knocking him. But health is rooted around discipline and self-accountability, you know? Because it's only there to benefit you. That is true. We don't know what will happen. The new Billy Blanks. Good. You got one. And no, that's not good enough for me. That's true. Noodles are good. You know what I mean? It took me years to have my wife stop eating those instant noodles. It drove me fucking crazy, guys. Because I knew, we all know, Ramens is crazy amount of salt, right? So the 80/20 thing that I was cool with her. Yeah, the bottom of your belly could be sitting on the forehead. Okay, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Get it how you get it. You know what I mean? A lot of women like different things out here. You know what I mean? All I'm trying to say is I don't want my belly doing this. You see that? I don't want that happening to me. So the girl might like my belly on her forehead, but I don't like that. I ain't gonna be on no stage like that before I'm 40 years old. Get out of here. Then lost your damn mind, world. Seasoned steak and taters. That's not a bad deal though. But health should be motivating. Battle Rap Bodega. Content Cartel. You're a leader to people younger than you. So it's funny to do it on the chats. I get it. But you will need to teach the young ones right too. No one's going to tell the young ones, go eat 4 cheeseburgers after your workout. Y'all got to be diabolical. Y'all got to be Anakin himself. I want to go exercise later. Okay, Timmy, let's go exercise. Ooh, that was a tough workout. All right, now eat all these damn cheeseburgers and onion rings. Why do you get a watermelon and protein shake? Shut up, Timmy. This is good for you, kiddo. No. No, what's gonna tell kids that? What are we talking about? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, sometimes grown folks are still little kids. So we gotta make it important. Why we say let's not eat these foods as much. Let's not, you know what I mean? We gotta laugh at it like that too much. Otherwise, we don't know how it's gonna go. It could be like this. You want to be hooked up to a gurney? But I like my hot Cheetos. Okay. Well, that's where you're gonna end up, folks. Right there. That's the future. Is that the future you want to see? Because I don't. I don't want to see it for you, folks. I want to see you healthy, running around these YouTube streets, smiling your big smiles. Oh, how you make me laugh over here, YouTube. Don't leave me, folks. Don't leave me. You got to eat right. Take care of your body, you know? Don't leave A-Fed. I don't want to see you go. I can still see the glow in your eyes. Your smile still light up the room. Your sense of humor can get me through the day sometimes, you know? So go on, get a kiwi. Get yourself a banana. Then later on, get a salad going. Because it got the greens you need. And it ain't heavy on you. You know what I mean? And you ain't stuck over here. Get it pushed down the hallway like Rikishi in the face. Is that what y'all want, folks? Y'all want to hit up Rikishi in the face over here in the ER? I don't think so. Right? Back to the comments. Yeah, she gonna get a Caesars. These young bulls not listening. Yeah. No, they're gonna listen. And you gotta believe they'll listen, Battle Rap Bodega Philly. What's the point of you just writing shit if you ain't never believe you're gonna make an impact? Believe it, Philly. Go out there and make a change. Don't let one person say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, old man. Don't let them discourage you, Philly. Smack that Philly cheesesteak out of their head and say, go get a goddamn vegetable. That's what you need to do, Philly. That's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, prepare for the marathon. We here. A-Dep H&IC. VBL Cartel. B4B. They shutting this whole year down. Happy to be on some cars. Definitely be tuned in to all the events VBL Cartel got going on. Salute to A-Dep. Salute to Yo too. Appreciate the opportunity. Now back to this. Yes, lots of vegetables. There's an array of vegetables. Yeah, it's an interesting combination. But yeah, you know, each one teach one, Philly. Or would I have been without Guru? He ain't my daddy. Where would I have been without Curtis Jackson? Where would I have been without John Witherspoon? Huh? So they just not gonna say all the right things no more? That ain't right, Philly. You know what I mean? Sean in the building, salute. We here having this conversation. You do have your own garden. I salute that. I got mine too. You need some dragon fruit? I got it. I got it, folks. I got some strawberries cooking up too. And we got some plants out there like aloe vera. Put it on your skin. Oh, it feels nice and cool. Yeah, it does because it's aloe vera. Planted over here by Aphids. So we here. Back to the transcripts to this video. To reiterate, we went over Proverbs 21:11. Essentially, that covers it's good to learn from your own mistakes, but it's wise to learn from the mistakes of others. Shout out to T-Rex. You know what I mean? Glad he's doing better and recovering. I wouldn't have brought it up like this. It was super serious with his health. We seen him on stage, you know. He was on stage. It didn't end well, that performance. You know, that's kind of where he ended up right there, you know. So we can learn from the mistake. That's what we can say. That is what we can say, right? So that ties into 21:11. Then I discussed try to avoid alcohol, especially as you get older. It just may not be told to you as much right now because you guys are older and people are going to look at you, of course, as grown men. So ain't nobody going to correct a grown man. They're going to let them do what they want, kind of thing. And that's dope. But we can still help guide each other, you know what I mean, around the same areas. So avoid the alcohol, avoid the fried foods, avoid foods with excessive sugar, develop a physical regimen, and stay consistent, which will help develop your discipline if you stay with it, you know. And then before you know it, working out is pretty normal. It'll start to feel it'll feel weird the day you miss an exercise, you know. It doesn't. So consistency. Develop a healthy sleep schedule and eat fruits and vegetables daily. The fruits are there designed to give you different benefits than vegetables. Vegetables really help with sleep. Greens on a daily, spinach. don't really like broccoli. It's man-made, right? Spinach, collard greens, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. I know that's not really green. Green beans. You know what I mean? Uh, those greens, they help you sleep later at night. I ain't got the whole science right now, but stay with it. Polo cop in the building. Salute. Um, yeah, to break it. Okay, to go into that part a little bit deeper. Uh, just to break it down, we know bananas got potassium, right? Mushrooms got iron. Uh, broccoli has fiber, etc. So they all have different points. You know what I mean? Cherries are good for anti-inflammation. For inflammation. So as you develop your taste for the whatever vegetables and fruits you like, you'll start to see the different benefits from eating them. Slander. Oh, this on my notes. Be aware of taking care of your mental health as well. Surround yourself around people that are positive and encourageable towards your growth. And that's the main focus of my channel. Uh, it's just who I am. So, especially the people I feel like I have stuff in common with, it's enough for me to say this out loud. It is. So, salute to that worldwide world. I had a workout this morning. Had a meal recovery. Sorry. You guys are all anti-muscles around here. I want to say this. Guys, y'all have muscle, right? I don't know why y'all get mad at me. It's not like I have my shirt. It's not like I'm doing TMR shit right now. Did I lather my body up in oil? I mean, some of y'all battled for him. No one in the joke. So get your stuff that you need to. I like the Greek yogurt. Some people don't like yogurt. I mean, I like the yogurt because 11 grams of protein. What are we talking about? All I got to do is eat this yogurt. I get 11 grams of free protein. Okay, what are we talking about? Sign me up. I mean, on top of my shake, I got the shake with 0 sugars, low carbs, or 0 calories, something like that. So it's almost like a pure protein. USP. Oh yeah, that. What that? It's a roast. Nah, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I actually thought this would take a lot longer than the 40 minutes. Um, even though they had Beverly Hills Polo. Yeah, I eat yogurt with a fork. What's wrong with y'all? All right, so we got real quick, my bad. My brain's catching up right now. So we got the workout done this morning. I got to have a few moments of your time, and I appreciate it. A few moments of y'all's time to just kind of hear me out about health. Feels like I had a convo with Billy in the chat, and I'm fully aware of that. I'm fully aware of There's a point when it comes to youth where older dudes we're just standing on a soapbox. We're just preaching to them at some point. But when they get older, they'll be doing. Some of them will be doing the same thing we're doing, and they'll be telling people to eat right, stuff like that, because we've seen it in family members. We hear stories. I worked with someone that would talk about how someone they knew was constantly exercising and then just one day passed. So that stuff does happen. Um, Most of those are fairly uncommon, um, and just being part of a collective, a mind collective that takes their health serious, that is important. And it's important that we recognize that, because there will be people that need to turn to that, to learn how to start, where to start at, and then from there you can branch off to all the things that you enjoy doing in exercise. You know, but at the very beginning, honestly, no one likes to do the exercise. No one likes to do it. So it's all about the starting foundations, and to avoid being too over preachy this morning. You know what I mean? Let's just stay mindful to our health as much as we can, and get those exercises in, folks. Get those exercises in. Eat well. Eat well. You know, the foods that you shouldn't really be eating. Y'all know the foods. You know, fruits and veggies are great. It's good. It's good. So I appreciate it. I'm not going to be doing too many of these stream yards. You'll mostly catch me on the YouTube short lives, and I'll see y'all in another one. B4B, VBL Cartel, ADEP HNIC, Yo2, Worldwide World. We out. Health is wealth. It's a choice, and it's something I highly suggest you choose. But do whatever you want to do. I ain't judging.